Well, I'm walking along to show you my goats. But if you look up, can you see that? I have a horrible suspicion it's going to start raining before I give you a good look at the Fab Four. I have Bert with me too, which also makes the goats a little bit anxious. Not that he'll hurt them, but he's just so silly around them. And he can't get to them anyway. But we'll walk down the drive. Stay there, you guys. Oh, that was a fat load of use. So these are the goats that we're coming up on now. So we have 4. We got 2 and then we got 2. They're all little boys and they've all been fixed. One of them wasn't fixed properly, which caused trouble. But I'll just, if I go around the other side, you'll get a better look at them. So here we go. These are my goats. So this big white one, they're all boys. This big white one, the vet didn't get both of his testicles, so he grew rather more than he should have, and as you can see, he's got a fine set of horns. His name is Charlie. The little brown one that's hiding behind him, his name is Gruff. They were the first 2 that we got. They are actually just pygmy goats. These 2 we got later. Hello, you. The one with the blue collar is Jar Jar. The one with the red collar is Binks. Now they're trying to figure out why I'm not giving them anything yummy. So I'm going to open up and give them some yummies. I know, Binks. Where are we? Yeah, don't fight. Now just everybody be nice. As you can see, they're very, very friendly. These are Nubians. And Nubians are just the most friendly of goats. They are fabulous with children. They will just come and visit children. Right, let me put it in your trough, please. Come on, over we go, over we go. Over we go. Whereas the miniatures are very goaty. So they will play and they won't play. They run away. They're far shyer than pygmies. Pygmies are, they're just friendly, they just don't care. Right, let's put some down here. As you can see straight away. Now the big one is in. Now you can see he gets quite stroppy. Oh, and there you go. He's just, no shush, Bert. He's just headbutted them. We didn't want a true Billy. We had to pay an awful lot of money for another vet to find. Oh, now stop it, Griff. Charlie! Charlie! Charlie, you're so busy hitting everybody, you're not actually eating. Oh. Charlie! Stop it! And for all that he's the one that butts everybody, he is the most nervous of all of them. He's constantly causing trouble, as you can see, but he is a great big coward. Whereas the Nubians are just the most jolly. Stop it! I would love to have his horns removed because, you know, they are a problem. He's not afraid to use them, as they say. But in the UK, you're not allowed to get your goats' horns removed once they've grown. Stop it! Jolly! Which I think is ridiculous, really, but there you go. So he should only have had horns like this little brown one here. Can you see? He has got horns, but they're quite small. That's what they were meant to be like. But one testicle missed, one ball missed, and this was the problem that we had. Whereas the Nubians are both just, as I say, the friendliest, softest, cutest goats you're ever going to come across. And I wish, knowing what I now know, that we hadn't got miniature goats, we'd gone straight with the Nubians. But the Nubians, again, were not wanted. That's the trouble. When people breed animals like goats, for example, obviously they want the females of the species for the milk, for goat's cheese, and so on. but you can't predict what mummy goat is going to have. So you end up with all these boys that, oh jolly, that basically are just of no use to anybody. All they are is, you know, eating machines, potential vet bills. Obviously you have to build them structures. As you can see, the bottom has gone from the one side of their structure. That was the big goat butting it, and he's butted the side out, so we've got to repair it. My son-in-law made them. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Am I zooming in? Yep. My son-in-law made them a bridge that in the summer they play on. And they have a lovely big field. They get hay as well, and obviously, as I say, they've got a shelter. Because surprisingly enough, people think goats will eat anything, and actually they won't. Jolly! As you can see by the grass, there is thick grass in here. My horses and ponies would love to come in here, and at some point we probably will move the goats into another field for a little bit and give the ponies just a few days on here to get that grass down. Jolly! Sorry, I keep saying Jolly. He's so obnoxious. He is so obnoxious. He is just constantly. He's a bully. He is a terrible, terrible bully. He knows he's got horns and he uses them. And the others just sort of suffer. And I do my best to sort of fling bits of food onto grass and so on, so that they're not all having to feed from the trough. But you'd think they hadn't been fed them at the Sundays the way they carry on. So yes, that's my 4 goats. So Charlie, the white bully, Griff, the little brown one, and then Jar Jar with the red collar and Binks with the blue collar. It's a shame they're not talking actually, because Jar Jar and Binks make the most funny noises and they yell, and you think there's a child. When they first came here, oh Jolly, Jolly, when they first came here, I couldn't get used to the noise that was coming from them. I kept thinking it was one of the children crying. Oh, and now you're doing it. Brilliant. All's peaceful in the goat world, not clearly. So that's the goats. That's the Fab 4. Well, 2 are fab, 1's medium, and the other one is, well, oh dear, what on earth can I do with it? And over here are Bert and Mimi being naughty, messing around with dirty straw and hay that have come out of one of the stables. So that's going to be really pleasant when I get indoors. So that was that. Now, while I've been looking at the goats, certain people think, oh, it's a little bit chilly. It's getting a bit late in the day. I think it might rain. And there's a human over there. And they come over to see what is going on. And this is the horses. So they've all come to have a little look. There's our Dowie. This is the one that we're worrying about at the moment. We think he has a neurological thing which makes him shake his head when you put any sort of bridle or head collar or anything on him. He's just gorgeous and I love him. This is Dora going by with her ears back. She's not pleased because the dogs are here. Big Stell, who is finally recovering from her bad foot. Aren't you, sweetheart? Aren't you? Baby Aurora. Huge baby Aurora. Yes, Aurora, yes, you're a beautiful girl, you are. Over the back there is Jojo, who is determinedly ignoring everything, which is very Jo. That is very, very Jo. She follows the herd around, but she isn't as interested or as involved, never quite so keen on humans. And you see Dora going over to there. Dora is actually, it looks like Dora's being mean. She isn't, she's moving her off. Dora adopted Jojo when she lost her foal. Oh, there's Danny. And he's being protective as well. So Dora decided that Jojo was her baby. And so she moves her away from us and sort of fends her away from us. And then Dan, of course, is the man of the patch. And he fends off everyone. Look at this, mummy and daughter having a good old nibble on each other. And that is real love in the horsey world, to stand there and do that. That is very, very loving. So yeah, there's my funny crew, and as you can see, they have turned some of the field to pure mud already. There is still lots of eating, thank God, but we do, Bert, get out! We do have delivery of hay. We also get haylage in for the old man. He suffers from a horsey version of COPD, or emphysema, I suppose you'd call it. So every winter we have to put him onto wood shavings. He can't have straw, and then he has to eat haylage because, again, he can't have anything that's dusty, anything that's old, and of course the hay gets old in the winter. And here comes beautiful Aurora. Hello, my darling girl. Just coming to see what's going on. You're such a beauty, aren't you? You're such a beauty. Oh, you are. Yes, you're nibbling my fingers. Okay, right. So I came out to show you the goats. The goats have now become very, very peaceful. I'll just, because they now don't have any food, I'll just turn the camera. Jar Jar and Binks, I don't know if you can see them. Jar Jar and Binks are just watching. What you doing, Jar Jar? Binksy! Nope, they're not coming in case there's any left over. But they've settled down. They've stopped sort of trying to hit each other, and it is bizarre. I mean, we go down, we feed them. What it must be, I'm trying to think. My hubby does it very first thing. Then Jay will do it about lunchtime. I usually come out for a walk in the afternoon. See, it's 3:30. So I've just given them some, and they always have some before bed, which is a lot for goats. But we spoil them. And goats can, oh, look at this. Aurora is rolling. Watched over by Dowie, that's her playmate. They play together all the time. But she's having a little roll. Here she goes, up she gets. And now he's doing it too. They're as thick as thieves, these two. Considering that he's, you know, not even half her size. They are absolutely as thick as thieves. And if there's any silliness going to go on, it is those two. Oh, and there we go, rolling together. And on the odd occasion that they have escaped, which they have, I've found them right up at the house, it's usually him. He can usually figure out how to get a gate open. If there's any weaknesses in the fences or anything, Dowie can usually figure it out. Dan doesn't approve, but he, you know, he just keeps an eye out. Look at that. He thinks she's his. So sweet, the way nose to nose. Yeah. So that's and the sky is not looking any better, folks. I'm going to get drowned, I'm pretty sure. Here we go. We're actually having a power cut at the moment, so I thought perfect time to come out and show you the animals. They're all quite happy. It's not raining at the moment. The minute it starts raining, they'll be at the gate shouting, wanting to be let in. Aurora is so friendly. She will follow as long as I stay down here. If I was to walk the boundary, she would follow the whole way. She loves people and she wants to be involved. So yes, the horses and the goats are together-ish. They can see each other over the fences. I've still to do the sheep, and I will. And I was going to do the ducks. You can just see them through the trees here. I just slow down a little bit. Can I get this to zoom in? Am I doing that the right way or the wrong way? Oh, here we go. And the trouble with this is I have the dogs with me. So there's a good chance these ducks are going to be on the water before we can get close enough to really see them. Bert! Bertie! All the white ducks that you can see there, look at the run, they're running. All the white ducks that are standing together, they're all rescue ducks. All the ones that are running over now, they're Indian runner ducks, and they're not rescue ducks. They've been donated by people who ended up with too many. And this is the pond that I built. If we go down here, you'll get a look at them. Not as close as I'd like you to have a look, because as I say, the dogs are with me. They've destroyed my pond. My pond is as green and as murky as a pond can be. I've given up. I've totally given up on having it look, you know, tasteful and arty because of these little horrors. As you can see the white ones all gathered over there. They're all daft as brushes, and they're very friendly to humans because, of course, they were born in a barn and lived in cages laying eggs. So they're not really frightened of people. They don't particularly want you to pick them up, but they will come right up to you. Whereas the other ones in the water are a bit wilder. And can you see that there's a particular duck there and he has a feather? Looks like his wing is sticking up. I don't know if he'll come over. Oh yes, he's coming to the front now. Can you see his wing sticking up? They call that angel wing, and it's when they're tiny, sometimes in the shell, or sometimes just after they're born when their bones are still soft, the wing forms wrongly. And they end up with a wing that does that. It never lies flat, so they call it angel wing. He's a boy and he's a horror. They all look so peaceful and so pretty. But if you ever see ducks having sex, you will discover that they are awful. Absolutely awful. It's been a real shock to me as a city girl who only ever fed ducks at the, you know, at the lake, to actually own ducks and to discover how rotten the males are to the females. I mean, it's nothing less than rape, and you have to make sure that you have enough females to males, because it's not uncommon for them to drown a female, because they will go one after the other and they climb on their back, they get their heads, they push them underwater while they are bonking them. And we did have a situation where we had more males than females, and it was awful. We had to take the females away for their own safety. They were getting injured by the males. And then we rescued a whole load more females, and as you can see, they're all jumping in now. And I particularly love to see the white ones jumping in. Let's see, they still think about it. There's one there now. They're having a think about it. It's still not... Yes, I know. It's still not really natural to them. They absolutely love it. You can see that they're happy and they're bonny and they're healthy. But you see that one there? Still thinking about it. Still sort of, will I, won't I, should I get in the water, should I not? Because it's just not her natural habitat. There we go. She gets in like an old lady. So that's, yes, and we built sort of a waterfall-y thing. This all had beautiful plants, marginal plants. There are shells inside the pond. Beautiful, that hid the pipe, and I mean, there is just nothing. There is just nothing. When I think of the money and the time that I spent, it's quite heartbreaking, really. But fortunately, I love the ducks, so we're all right. So that was it. So that was some of my animals. We've still the chickens to do, and we've still the sheep to do for your first intro. But for the time being, as I say, the heavens are going to open. And it's a bit bizarre because over here we have blue sky and clouds, and over here it's black and grey. Very British. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Sorry, one of my daughter's dogs. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll do lots more of the animals. Okay, bye guys.